Hey, what's going on YouTube? What's everybody doing today? Hope you're enjoying your day today. Out here in Arizona, it is mighty toasty. Mighty toasty, I will tell you that much. Anyway, I thought I'd do a little video here, see if I got a little time to do this. Getting loaded up right now, and then heading over to Southern Cali into Paramount, and then picking up in Irvindale later that day, and heading up to where am I heading up to? Somewhere in Oregon, Springfield, Oregon. So Arizona, Southern Cali, and then Springfield. That's what's on the agenda. That's what's happening. But anyway, so I thought I'd do a quick little video. I'm gonna do my 6-month review of May Trucking Company. Now they already did the 6-month review on me as a driver. That was done about 2.5 weeks ago or so, almost 3 weeks ago actually. Anyway, so now I am gonna do my 6-month review on May Trucking Company for you new drivers out there, for you guys that are in school or about to be out of school, or you already got out and now you're looking for your company that you want to start on with. I've been with May Trucking Company since February of this year, and I still like it. I still enjoy it. I love what I do in general, and I like May Trucking Company. They're a good company. Let's see, where do we want to begin? Let's see, how about we'll start with the equipment. What type of equipment we run? We run, well, you know, we've got some Peterbilts, we've got some International Pro Stars, but those, what we've got in the fleet right now are all we're getting. The Peterbilts are on their way out. When the Internationals are done, those will be gone. Looks like all we're getting in anymore are the Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions, and they're all automated manuals is what they're called. Everybody calls them automatics. Technically it's an automated manual, and that's what I've got. I started out in a 13-speed manual, and they put me about a month and a half later or so, they put me in this brand spanking new 2017 Freightliner Cascadia. It's got the Detroit DT12, the Delta Tango 12 transmission, automated manual, but everybody's calling it the automatic, so whatever. And I really like this truck. I mean, it took me a little time to appreciate it, but I like this truck now. It's good in a number of different ways. There are times that I still kind of wish I had my manual, but the good outweighs the bad in this truck, so I like it. I'm not going to get into the specifics about that. I've got other videos you can look at on that stuff. If you're a newer subscriber and haven't watched them all, you need to get with it. But in general, the equipment is good. It's new. It's modern. The equipment's great. The equipment's excellent. All right, I'll say that. Equipment is excellent that they're providing us. And the trailers, you know, in general, the trailers are good. It's all good equipment. There are some trailers that need to be put out to pasture, whatever that saying is. They need to take them out to a field, shoot them, and put them down. I'll just say that. The 5000 series, some of the 6000 series, no. And I keep watching my light. That's what I'm looking back there for, seeing if I got a green light. Anyway, most of the trailers are good. There are some that I loathe, but in general, tractor and trailers, good equipment that May Trucking Company provides the drivers. The pay, you know, when you're getting out of school, you can look into your blue in the face at the pay of different companies that hire recent graduates. But what you're going to find is that for the most part, all the companies are going to be paying you pretty much the same. You know, when you're over the road, they're all going to be in that same range of pay. And you know, some will structure it different to say you can get more money, but what they kind of breeze past and don't really get into is that you have to hit all these marks to get that higher pay. So, but I'm not trying to get into all that right now. The pay at May Trucking Company, and that's actually, and I talk about that in my first couple of videos actually, what drew me to May Trucking. And the trainee pay is among the highest that they pay when you're out as a student. They're going to pay you more than most companies out there when you're as a student. Some of these companies out there, it's highway robbery what they're paying their students. I don't even know how they can get away with that legally, but they do. But anyway, May Trucking Company, as a student, you're going to get about the highest pay in the industry as a student. When you solo out, you're gonna get what you can expect from a company as a new driver. They've got the gradual increases as you go. They also offer flat rate pay. So if you want a consistent paycheck, so you know exactly what you're gonna get, regardless of the miles, because some days you're not going to be clocking 500-600 miles a day. You know, you're just not. I mean, I've had 13-14 hour days, and we're talking just the 14-hour clock. You know, I've run my 14-hour clock because I'm at shippers or receivers, doing this, that, and it's eating at my 14-hour clock. And I've only gotten maybe 200 miles, 250 miles sometimes off of 14. Sometimes even less out of a 14-hour clock. So it just depends. There's days where you're not going to have, you're not just on the road driving, you know. And so if you're on cent per mile on that, your paycheck for that day is going to be a lot lower. And it goes back and forth. So anyway, just wanted to touch on that briefly. There's May Trucking Company does offer a flat rate. And then of course cent per mile, you know, so you have the choice when you come in which one you want to go with. And I'll say this just real quick because I'm not trying to get into the details on that sort of thing. I'm just trying to do a 6-month review on them. If you're starting out with May as a new driver, I recommend starting on the flat rate pay for at least the first month. Get the hang of things, get the feel for things, and not to mention, when you solo out for the first week or two, you're going to be a lot slower on doing everything, you know, and that's going to eat into your mileage. So if you start on cent per mile, you're going to have lower paychecks than you would if you just went with the flat rate. Anyway, that being said, the pay is reasonable. The pay is fair. I didn't expect, you're not going to get rich in your first year. I'll tell you that right now. With any company, all right, you're just not. You need to put your time in, get your experience. You know, the money will grow as you grow as a driver. All right. So equipment, pay. Let's see what else we got. Home time. Home time's fine. You request your home time. They'll tell you in orientation what to expect, you know. And that's the other thing too. May offers 2 different places. There's no regional, there's no local. You can run Western 11 or you can run all 48. So you have that choice as well. Which I think is good. I appreciate that. Let's see what else. Let's talk about the miles. The miles are to be expected, and by that I mean I can't do a blanket statement on the miles, because you can as a driver, you can either be Western 11 or you can be all 48. I tell you this, and I talked to somebody in payroll just to kind of confirm that if you run Western 11, you're gonna have lower miles. And actually, what she told me in payroll, if you run Western 11, it's actually it's to your benefit to be on the flat rate, because you're not going to be hitting 2,500, 3,000 miles in a week, typically. Now, I have, but that's not typical. And then if you're all 48, you're going to get more miles because you can be running 1,500, 2,000 mile runs, you know, plus every once in a while. So, what else? Miles are good, pay is good, equipment is excellent. Let's talk about the people. Let's talk about the people behind the scenes, behind the curtains, whatever that say it is. You got your DM, you got your driver manager. That is your go-to person that is gonna makes everything else happen. Your DM is your guy or gal. My DM is great. You know, it hasn't been all peaches and roses, whatever that saying is. And then you get May drivers. The drivers, for the most part, are cool until you get a May driver that pulls up right in front of you and you're invisible to them. People, if you're a May driver, wave at other May drivers. It's just, you know, it's just saying, hey, what up? You know, you're part of the fam. This driver's literally gonna back in right next to me, and he stopped right there. His window is right there, people. And like, I don't even exist, but hey, it is what it is. Everybody's different. And now I don't know why he's getting all frustrated. So he ain't in a good mood to begin with, apparently. Anyway, he didn't even slide his tandems yet. You're supposed to slide those tandems by the gate, and you got all kinds of garbage in your trailer, dude. They're not even gonna load you. Whatever. If you're driving for May, represent your company and yourself professionally in a good light. I don't know. I don't even need to get into that right now. I don't even want to get into that right now, but when you get dispatched for this place, it tells you to clean your damn trailer out. It says sweep it out. No garbage, no debris. That's all he's got in the back of that trailer, but whatever. Hey, whatever. Everybody's different. You get every personality out here on the road. It's just one of those things you get to deal with. But the people behind the scenes are great. My safety guy out of Denver, and I'm not throwing any names out there of anybody because I haven't talked to them about. I mean, they know I do my videos and they watch them from time to time, but I'm not gonna put names out there because they haven't specifically said they're cool with that. Anyway, and I can tell you're whatever. Safety guy in Denver's really cool. My DM's cool. Everybody in every terminal that I've met, they're good people. They're good people, and that's important too, because one bad apple, you know, the drivers out here, that's our only job, is to move freight. It's to get from A to B, do this and that, and just do your job, right? So when you have somebody in the office that is having a bad day or just isn't pleasant to deal with, that's going to affect the driver's impression of the company too, and that can cause the driver to jump ship. So, but anyway, in general, everybody that I've dealt with behind the scenes, in the offices, they're all good people. They're easy to get along with. They're easy to deal with. Night dispatch people in Brooks, you know, you deal with them on the phone. They got a huge burden on them because, you know, at night, then everything goes through the Brooks terminal, and you know, you can tell when they're really overloaded and stuff. But every once in a while, when I call at night, to do my live loads and whatnot. They're fun to chat with, and just kind of, you know, you kind of just have this banter back and forth with them and stuff. So anyway, the people are good. What else? What other things? What other things would be a review that would be relevant? Talked about equipment. We talked about pay. We talked about miles. We talked about the people that make it happen. Aside from the drivers, I mean, the drivers make it happen, but to make the drivers happen, we got to have the staff that makes that possible. So that staff is on point. They're solid. What else? Home time. Home time's easy. Put in your request. You know, if you got something important coming up, you put that in the notes. They'll make sure to get you there, usually early, especially when it's, you know, if you got a doctor's appointment, a court appointment, whatever, court date, whatever. I don't know. I don't know, folks. That's what else? What else? What else? He's got a side. He got his side mirror all taped up with duct tape. I don't know if that's DOT approved duct tape, people, but all right, whatever. Let's see here. Some of the, I mean, and I'm trying to think from a, it's just an unbiased point of view. I'm not recruiting for May. I'm not a May cheerleader. If there's something about it, I'm gonna say it. You know, that's just how I am. I'm just gonna, you know, I express my opinion, and this is just strictly my opinion. There is everything just honky dory. I don't even know what the phrase is, what the term is. Peaches and cream, roses and tulips. I don't know. Whatever those sayings are. I mean, is everything just beautiful, perfect all the time? No, but you're never gonna find anything out there that is. Hell, life in general isn't that way. You know, you got to learn how to cope, how to deal with things, how to just get along. But for the most part, everything's been good. I had one time where I was checking my paycheck online, and there was like almost $300 missing, and it was a payroll error that I had sent something in. Excuse me, I'm spitting all over you. I had sent something in. They didn't process it properly. Short of it is, they didn't think I had done something, which I did, and so it resulted in my paycheck being short. Now, when I saw that, I called payroll, told them. They looked a little deeper. They said, "Oh yeah, here it is. Our apologies. Do you want me to put that under check right away?" And I said, "You know, if it's easier for you, just put it on my next paycheck. It's no big deal." And that's what they did. So it's not reason to start ranting and just get all bent out of shape about, you know, mistakes. Human error happens, people. So you just deal with it. So anyway, it was just that simple. That was the only screw up, and it was remedied. Just, you know, I had the option. They could have sent it over right away, but I didn't. You know, I wasn't like dying for money, and I didn't need it. So I said, you know, hey, if it's just easier, just throw it on next week's paycheck, and that, you know, save you some time. So no big deal. Let's see, what else? Equipment, pay, miles, home time, the folks. I don't know what else. I don't write notes down when I do this. It's just from the hip, and I'm trying not to drag this video out. I can't really think of anything else. If you have any other questions specific to May from a driver that's been here for about half a year. Let me know. I'm trying to think of anything else that's kind of pertinent to the topic here. The drivers at May Trucking Company, you know, they say it's like a family. Other companies say the same thing. They say it's like a family here. It is kind of like a family here. I mean, it is. Pretty much everybody at my home terminal knows my name. You know, they provide, like if you get to a terminal, like if you go to Brooks or something like that and you're shut down for the night, but you need to make a run to Walmart, they got a van there that you can check out and run, grab a bite to eat, go to a restaurant, go grocery shopping, do whatever you want. Oh, let's talk about service. Because we've got service shops at different locations, different terminals have body shops, they got service shops. If you say you need something done, your DM is going to get you routed to a terminal to get that done. If it's important, you're pretty much heading right there. If it's something that you can deal with, you know, over the next week or so, you're still going to get routed toward that terminal. You might have one or two runs in between that spot to get there before it gets done. But the service shops, you know, the folks there, like at Brooks, the main guys, they're great to deal with. They're easy to talk to. Tell them your concerns about whatever, and it gets handled. And then that gets kind of handed down. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the word I'm looking for. But anyway, so then the worker bees get to work on it. Usually the work that is done is good, it's decent. Every once in a while, it's questionable. Other drivers have different opinions about that. I've heard other drivers that, you know, really don't like certain terminals. One driver said, I won't let this terminal even touch my truck, blah, 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 blah. You know, it really just depends on who's there doing it. But for the most part, I haven't had any major issues with getting any service done. Body shop type stuff, whatever. They take care of you at May. They do. They take care of you at May. You know, you can have your truck kind of customized to a certain extent on what you need, what you want. I had the tower rack shelving type thing taken out behind my passenger seat so I can fit a big fridge in there. They'll put that in, they'll bolt it down. I had, May Trucking Company is offering direct TV through the Epic View thing. So, and I already bought my TV, but you have to use their equipment. Their entire package is kind of set up that way. So I gave my TV away to one of the guys in the shop. I just didn't want to haul it around until I got back home. Even though May, you know, I talked to, I think her name's Sunshine. I just threw her name out, sorry. I talked to I forget what her position is there, dang it. Anyway, she said, you know, just drop it off with so-and-so, put your driver code on there, and we'll mail it back to you. They're not going to charge me. And I could have had that mailed back to my house, but it's just a little TV. I got a nice big TV at home, even though I don't get to use it much anymore. But I didn't want to haul around a little TV that even if it did get back to my house, I would have no use for it. So I gave it away at Brooks. And then I'm using May's TV. They installed the direct TV, the dome, the dish, satellite thing, the receiver, and it's actually a nicer TV than I had. LG is the brand. But yeah, So they're taking care of the drivers. The people are good. The equipment's good. The pay is to be expected. When you're starting out. Honestly, there's not a whole lot. There's nothing really that I would even think is reasonable to even gripe about, to tell you about. I mean, if there was, like I said, if there was, I would tell you about it. But there's really nothing. It's you need to don't set yourself up for failure by putting these expectations on a company right when you get your CDL. You need to expect that you're going to make a fair wage starting out, but you're not going to be rolling in the dough starting out. All right, but you'll make a fair wage. You can live comfortably, take care of your bills, your expenses, your responsibilities, and still, and you'll be fine. You just don't, like I said, don't set yourself up for failure. Don't put these high expectations of a company when you just get your CDL. I'm gonna get off subject if I start going that way. So anyway, May Trucking Company, I give them a thumbs up. I'll give them 2 thumbs up. All right, because they are, they're a good company to work for. They're a good company. They're fair. They treat you right. You got concerns, they'll address your concerns. Your DM has your back. You do what you were hired to do, and they're going to take care of you. Do your part and they'll do their part, and everything else just works out, and deal with the bumps as they come along. Don't get bent out of shape. If you have that sort of a mentality or that sort of an attitude, it's going to make it tougher on you, but it's going to make your life tougher on you. So just be professional, be open-minded, be fair with them, they're fair with you. Idle. Let's talk about the idle policy real quick. I've had a lot of questions about the idle policy. May Trucking, they used to have an idle policy, and apparently they did away with it about the time that I started, because I heard from other drivers they would charge you for this and that, and I have not been charged. I have not been told that I'm idling too long. I have my dog with me. If I'm in getting my shower, if I'm in doing laundry, if I have to run to Walmart, and in summertime, if it's 70 degrees outside, it's going to be 85 degrees at least inside the truck. These trucks get hot, even if it's 70 out. And sometimes even with the windows open, it's just, that sun beaming down, and it's going to get toasty in there. So my truck is idling, whether I'm in it or not, when it's hot like that outside. And then you talk about, you get down here to Arizona, it was 110 degrees out there yesterday. It's 101 out right now, which is, it's noon, so it's not as hot as yesterday. But if I leave my truck, if I got to run in, shower, whatever the case may be, my truck is idling, because I'm not going to roast my dog like that. And there's no problem with that whatsoever. There was no problem with it. That was one of my concerns when I started. It's never been an issue. You send in your idle times, your over idle and engine hours every other week. You send that into your DM. They keep track, and that's the end of it. As long as you're doing your part, there's no question about it. And then that also goes back to being fair, because fuel ain't cheap, and fuel, somebody's paying that bill. So if it is comfortable enough outside to where you don't need to idle, then don't idle. Be fair with them, and they're fair with you. So that's what I appreciate about May. And in the wintertime, we got bunk heaters. You don't need to idle. The bunk heaters, if you don't dial it down, it'll roast you out of this truck. Even if it's 20 below outside, it'll roast you out of this truck. So anyway, that's about it. I'm at 30 minutes. You guys, I apologize for being long. Get me on Facebook, The Redhead. It's 2 words, The Red space Head, and it's capital THE, capital RED, space capital HEAD. You got questions like that. And subscribe. If you don't already, subscribe to the adventures, to my journey. I try to get videos out when I can, when I feel the motivation to do so. But other than that, you guys have a good one. Be safe. If you're on the road already, drive safe. If you're in school, keep it up. It's one step at a time, one day at a time, and before you know it, you're going to be behind the wheel in your own truck. Check out May Trucking Company. Like I said, I'm not a cheerleader. I don't get referrals. I don't ask for referrals. That is not my intention. My intentions are just to share my experience, my opinions, my journey, and you do with it. You do what you will with it. You know, it is what it is. Just my opinion. So you guys be safe. Have a good one. Enjoy your day. I'll catch up.